Hello everyone, my name is Robert Greenstein, a partner at Greenstein & Milberg, the attorneys behind 1-800-VICTIM-2. And welcome back to the 1-800-VICTIM-2 studio. Today I'm going to talk about pedestrian knockdown accidents. You know, when you're a pedestrian and you're struck by a car or a bus or a truck, it's called a pedestrian knockdown accident. Pedestrians are very vulnerable. They have no physical protection against these vehicles, which are quite heavy. And even a low-speed collision with a truck, a bus, or a car can cause very serious injuries. And you know, with the driver's negligence, you can recover your medical bills, the cost of your medical bills, your lost earnings, money for compensation for pain and suffering, as well as for the emotional trauma as a result of the accident. Driver negligence is the most common, frequent cause of pedestrian knockdown accidents. Maybe the driver fails to yield the right of way to a pedestrian in the crosswalk or just fails to see a pedestrian. A driver could be trying to beat a red light or just ignoring a traffic signal or ignoring the traffic laws. The driver could be distracted on a cell phone or a navigation system. The driver could be driving while impaired, intoxicated, or even fatigued, where they're too tired and they just don't have the reaction time that they need to operate a motor vehicle. There's a lot of different causes that can cause a pedestrian knockdown injuries, and it can happen on the street. The pedestrians could be in the crosswalk. They could be waiting on a bus and get hit by a car. They could be walking on the sidewalk and somebody's maybe turning into a driveway or leaving a driveway, or somebody's turning into a parking lot of a store or leaving the parking lot of a store. It could take place in the parking lot, and it could take place in a parking structure. And the injuries that pedestrians suffer could be very serious. The car could knock the pedestrian to the ground, and the pedestrian could suffer traumatic brain injury, sometimes even lead to a coma. But the car also can make impact with the pedestrian's thigh or knee, and that could lead to knee injuries, maybe a patella fracture or tears in the tendons or ligaments requiring surgical intervention, a fractured femur. It could, again, you fall. You could have, besides a head injury, you could have back injuries, neck injuries, ankle injuries, ruptured tendons, hip injuries. There's so many different injuries that can happen, and even a fatal injury from when you get hit by a car. Now, if you're hit by a car or a truck or a bus, the best thing to do is get medical treatment right away. Call an ambulance. Even if you don't think you're hurt and you don't call an ambulance, you do want to follow up with your physician just to get checked out. It's a good idea, if possible, to record the license plate of the car involved, the name of the driver, and see if there's any witnesses. And if the police come, try to get the name of the police precinct, the number of the police precinct, or the name of the police agency. And you should retain an attorney as soon as possible. When you're hit by a car or a bus or a truck, there are certain forms that have to be filed within 30 days of the accident. One such form is called a no-fault application, and that's how your medical bills and your lost wages will be covered. Now, we file those forms for you. When you're in an accident, you're going to get calls from the insurance company. They can start sending you forms, and most people don't know what to do with those forms. We take care of that for you. We don't want you to worry about any of that. So that's why it's a good idea to contact an attorney, especially an attorney who specializes in these pedestrian knockdown type accidents, as soon as possible. Also, keep in mind there's a 3-year statute of limitations, even shorter in the case if the defendant is a municipality. So, it's a good idea to contact an attorney as soon as possible. And God forbid, if a pedestrian knockdown accident leads to the wrongful death of somebody, then the family and loved ones can pursue a case to get the money compensation that they're entitled to. It's a tragedy, but they are entitled to compensation, and we can certainly help them with that. So if you're a pedestrian hit by a car, a truck, or a bus, give us a call at 1-800-VICTIM-2. That's 1-800-842-8462. Don't be a victim twice. Give us a call at 1-800-VICTIM-2. Thank you.